Welcome back to the podcast. Today's podcast episode is all about creating and using your sacred vision statement. I've been utilizing a sacred vision statement in my own business since I first started my business many decades ago, and it is a guiding light for me for all of my offerings, for what I stand for the content that I share, and it has been all of these years. My sacred vision statement is also a guiding light for my marketing. It's such a vital and integral part of my business as a whole. And honestly, the sacred vision is a big part of my own well being inside of my business. And I've also been teaching about sacred vision since 2010, 15 years now. I really just believe it is such an important thing, which is why I am so excited to share an introduction to it with you today. But first, before we jump into sacred vision and how to create it, there's the question of why now? Why did it feel so important to me to explore this topic about sacred vision with you right now? And actually, it felt so important that I bumped some other episodes for this one. Well, it's because of what's happening in the world right now, and it's also because of what's happening inside of the coaching industry right now that makes me feel so strongly about this that I want you to be able to articulate and actively use your sacred vision statement as soon as possible. So I'm going to start with a short story that I also briefly shared in my email community last week. And I got a Voxer the other day. And if you don't know what a Voxer is, it's essentially a recorded voice note. And by the way, I love using Voxer with my private clients so that we can communicate in between sessions, so that I can support them on things as they come up. Anyway, the other day, a week or two ago, I got a Voxer from an old client, an old, very beloved client who I had worked with for a very long time. And this client has been an expert in her field for over 20 years. And the last that she and I had worked together closely was about a year and a half ago. And when we last spoke and finished our round of coaching, then her business was doing really well. She was easily bringing new students into her offerings and clients in. She'd been raising her rates. Things were going really well. But the Voxer that I received a week or two ago was a little bit different. And it basically said the following. She said, Joanna, it is so hard to get anyone to buy my stuff right now. I feel like I'm doing so much. And I just feel like things aren't working. I'm seeing way less, even though I'm doing so much. Please tell me that I'm not the only one. What's going on here? So I sent her a Voxer back right away and I let her know for sure she is not the only one experiencing this, not by a long shot. And I let her know, and I've been sharing this here on the podcast as well. I let her know that it is a bit harder right now to make sales. And that most practitioners in the transformational industry, in the coaching industry, are feeling this in one way or another. I also let this dear old client know that I've been experiencing some of it in my business, that in my business, both me and my team, we're all doing more than we did, say, in 2022 and 2023 in order to meet our goals. And that sometimes we're not completely fully reaching those goals even with doing more. I'm so glad that this client of mine reached out so that I could share all of this with her. Because the truth is that there aren't enough leaders in the industry right now who are speaking to this, who are normalizing what's happening, who are admitting that they're seeing some dips in their businesses. It's like they're too scared to admit it publicly. And then what that does is it creates shame and disillusionment. The people that follow those leaders, read their stuff, et cetera, they just think, oh my gosh, there must be something wrong with me because this isn't happening to anyone else. But I want to normalize it. And, right now, as if you've been following this podcast, you've heard me say before, right now, there are a lot of tough things happening in the world, happening in the news cycle. And because of all of that, there is a lot of uncertainty right now. And there's also a lot of distrust in general in the world right now. We don't know who we can trust. And when uncertainty and distrust are present, then you can also bet that that's going to show up in sales. That's going to show up when people are considering buying something. That's just a fact. But that being said, and this is one of the important pieces that I really, really want everybody to hear and to know, even though all of this is going on and it is a little bit challenging right now, please don't lose hope. I know that in times that are more challenging, it can be so, so easy to get frustrated, to lose patience, to give up, and to worry that you or your work just don't matter, that you'll never matter. But please, I want you to know that you matter. You have always mattered. And the work you want to do in the world, it matters very much. This is a harder time right now for sales, for business. There's no denying that. But sales can still be made. And especially when you're really good at what you do and you're masterful at supporting your clients through their blocks and their fears and their resistances, sales can be made. My team and I are making sales every week. Now, of course, all things in life, the other piece that's important here before we get to sacred vision, all things in life, including business, goes in cycles. And this is one of the reasons why I'm such a student of the cycles, because there's so much wisdom inside of them. There are business cycles that are going to be abundant and expansive. And then there are going to be other business cycles that are more contracting, that it feels like there's less. And this might sound a little shocking, but hear me out for a moment. These cycles of expansion and contraction, of abundance and less, this is as it should be. It's supposed to be this way. And that's because constant expansion is ultimately destructive. Anything that just continues to expand and expand and expand and expand and more without ever contracting, at least for a little bit, it doesn't work. And it's kind of this idea that we should always be more and more and more. That's kind of like a capitalist lie that we've all been fed. But really, the cycles of expansion and then contraction and expansion and contraction, that's actually the way long-term aligned growth goes. And that goes for anything, marketing, business, relationships, habits, the natural world, and life itself. I believe so deeply, and I've seen this to be true through my decades in business, that those of us who keep on showing up during the harder times in business, who keep on providing value during the times when maybe it's harder to make sales, we're the ones who are going to be appreciated and also top of mind when someone is ready to invest in themselves. So it's so important, even in harder times, to keep the hope, to remember we're going in cycles, and also to keep on showing up. That being said, it can be very difficult to keep on showing up and keep on showing up and providing value when sales are slow, right? We can lose our patience, we can feel dejected, all the things. And that's why, here's where we get to sacred vision. I promised you we were getting there. So here we are. That is why you want to be deeply connected to your sacred vision for the world. When you have a sacred vision and you stay connected to it, that vision can help you keep on going with purpose. It can help you remember what your deepest reasons are for your business. Reasons that go way deeper even than making money. When you stay connected to that deep why and to that sacred vision and to the values that are part of a sacred vision, it helps you activate your inspiration. It helps you stay connected with your inspiration. It helps you stay connected with your bigger purpose. And it also helps make your bigger purpose bigger than your frustration or your worry so that you can keep on showing up. So that you can keep on showing up as a light in the world for what you believe. So, because of all of this, I want to go deeper today and talk about what a sacred vision is and how you can start creating one for yourself and how you can use it in your business. Because again, that sacred vision is such a powerful tool to help you stay inspired, to help you stay engaged in aligned ways, to help you continue to show up. And all of that is what is going to lead to ultimate success. Always, but especially in these more challenging times. So let me give you an overview of what I mean by sacred vision. Your sacred vision should be big. So, without sounding too dramatic, this is the vision that you have for the world moving forward, for what the world can look like. And inside of your sacred vision should be the foundational idea that drives your business and what allows you to feel passionate about your business. This sacred vision It's one of the things that can get you up in the morning and help you feel excited and motivated to continue to take action. Your vision could be anything from working towards a world where all people are valued equally, or to envisioning a world where Mother Earth is being honored and taken care of. Your vision could be dedicated to help creating a world where people love the way they look and feel and are therefore happier and are better to themselves and others. Your sacred vision could be contributing to a world where there are no more wars. Your sacred vision could be seeing a world in which anyone who needs it has access to education about parenting neurodiverse kids so that there's less stigma and much more support for families to thrive. Your sacred vision could be a world where people are empowered to find the right balance of work and rest so that there's less illness in the world, less anxiety, and more kids who feel really seen and taken care of by their parents. In other words, there are so many countless visions out there, right? You want to find which one is yours. And your vision is very much about your values and your priorities. Your vision is about what's important to you and your heart. Ideally, your vision should be something that you're working on throughout each day. Maybe not on vacation, but maybe even vacation and weekends, right? So ideally, your vision is something that you're working on throughout each day. And whether that's at work, your vision is related to how you're serving your clients, your vision is related to how you're marketing, the words that you're using. But it might also be what you're working on outside of work, whether you're having lunch with a friend or showing up at a community event. So, for example, if your vision is to help create a world where the earth is valued, honored, and held sacred, your business might be to support climate activists and coach them. But at the same time, you might be living this in your personal life. You might maybe be very conscious about your own use of the earth's resources in your home. Or if you have kids, teach about it to your kids. So imagine what it might feel like to have this sacred vision at the center of your business, your offerings, your content, your marketing, and then to live your sacred vision in these ways, to be on purpose like this. The process of developing your sacred vision allows you to really home in on what is most important to you and keep that center and leading the way. It's way too easy to wake up and show up to work day in and day out, and to work towards goals simply because you feel you have to, or because you're expected to, or because you just really want those goals to bring in the money or the fame. And by the way, not that money or fame are bad or that you shouldn't have those as one of the things that motivates you if those things are right for you. But my point is that money and fame, for most people at the end of the day, usually aren't purposeful or meaningful enough on their own to be the only motivator in a business. So if you don't take a close and intentional look at what is deeply meaningful for you, and also continue to then connect to that, whatever it is, on a daily basis, then what can end up happening is that what ends up driving you and your business and your energy is just the numbers or false expectations or shoulds or guilt or fear. And as you probably know, that's not going to last you very long. That's either going to bring you into burnout or feeling hollow without inspiration for your goals, or you're just not going to be able to stay focused and interested and on track. And the sacred vision, it's not a once and done. It's a living, breathing thing that you want to come back to. So I'll share that a couple months ago, it was the end of the summer when me and my team were preparing for the Art of Client Transformation, which is this incredible, powerful 3-day online retreat that is a preview to the Sacred Depths Transformational Practitioner training. So at the end of the summer, we were deep into promoting the Art of Client Transformation. We were sending emails and social media posts and following up with people, bringing people in to that retreat. And I noticed at some point that I was just uninspired, that I was showing up each day to write the marketing, to talk about the event, but I was just focused on numbers. I was just focused on this is my goal for how many people I want in. And because I had let the sacred vision slip out from me, right? It was hollow. I was sleepwalking. I don't want to say I didn't have the patience for it as I was doing it. I'm a get it done person. I do the work, but it's like, I didn't feel the heart in it. It wasn't right. And as soon as I caught myself in all of this, the very first thing I did was I went back to our applied depth vision statement and I took the time to read over it and reconnect with it. I read it out loud to myself more than once. I made some tweaks actually because it was time to shift it a little bit. And then what I did from there is in the next team meeting that we had, I shared that vision statement again with my team, and I took the time to read it out loud to the team so that we could all come back to our inspiration and to our deep why and to knowing what our purpose was. And that made so much of a difference in the launch. It helped me be more present, more excited, more on purpose, as well as the team. And my marketing writing got better because it wasn't being led by numbers. It was being led by what really inspires me, by my deep why, by my deep purpose inside of my work. So, as an example, I'm going to read my sacred vision statement right now for Applied Depth Institute. And just know it's long. Yours does not have to be this long. I am wordy, but I want to share it with you because I think it will be really helpful for you to hear and also inspiring for you. Okay, here it goes. At the Applied Depth Institute, our vision is to transform the way healing and leadership are practiced in the world. We believe that cognitive conversations alone are not enough to create lasting change. That true transformation requires trauma-informed care, somatic depth, shadow work, ritual, and the courage to dismantle harmful cultural conditioning. We're committed to educating and empowering coaches, therapists, and leaders to hold spaces where people feel profoundly seen, valued, and cherished, so that individuals can reclaim their power, their worthiness, and their wholeness. Our purpose isn't only to nurture personal healing, but to ripple that medicine into families, organizations, politics, and the way we steward the earth. We envision a world where leadership is ethical and authentic, where communities are grounded in compassion and integrity, and where the reclamation of shadow and the healing of trauma fuel greater peace, stability, and justice. This sacred purpose drives everything we do because we know that by transforming inner worlds, we help transform the outer one. Okay, so that was a lot. Like I said, it doesn't have to be that long. And really, if I were to boil it down, it's one of those last sentences I just shared. I'm going to share it again. We envision a world where leadership is ethical and authentic, where communities are grounded in compassion and integrity, and where the reclamation of shadow and the healing of trauma fuel greater peace, stability, and justice. This, for me, these values, this vision of the world, this is everything. This is what I want to see happen so much. And everything that I do in my business is informed by this. Now, since we're on the topic of sacred vision, and in a few moments we'll get back to how to start creating your sacred vision, but I'm going to not divert for a moment here. I want to briefly share with you also about what I call your sacred mission. And I want to share about it because I think it will help to put that vision into even more perspective for you. So, your sacred mission is a little bit different from your vision. I had a little bit of mission in that big vision that I just shared with you. Your sacred mission is the way that your particular business and offerings contribute uniquely to your vision for the world. The mission is the vehicle through which you and your business uniquely helps to achieve your vision for the world. So, for example, let's say your business is a graphic design business that caters towards not-for-profit organizations. Your vision, your sacred vision might be that the world is filled with art and arts projects that encourage healing and growth. And your particular mission for your business is to contribute to this type of healing and growth by providing innovative and well-priced graphic design that helps support the organizations that provide the arts. So, to put it another way, your sacred vision is the larger picture that you're working towards, knowing that there are others in the world that are working towards that larger vision as well. You on your own, your organization on your own, probably can't fully achieve it. Your mission is the unique way that your business contributes to that bigger vision and moves that bigger vision forward. Your mission reflects the sum of the skills and interests and experiences that uniquely come through you. And then from there, your goals are the specific things that you do to carry out your mission. So goals support your mission, and your mission supports your vision. As an example, creating and filling a particular offering or program is a goal that should fit into that mission, how you uniquely are contributing to your vision and moving it forward, and so on and so forth. So, the best sacred vision statements are number one, they're bigger than you are. So, what I mentioned before, they're way more than what you on your own or your business on its own can achieve. It's very big. They're large in scale. They're inspiring and motivating. They make an impact on the world. The best sacred vision statements also focus on the future. There's something that probably isn't going to be achieved in 1 year, right? Maybe 5 years out, 10 years out, or longer. And the best sacred vision statements stretch you. They stretch you out of your comfort zone because they are so big. Your vision should inspire you. It shouldn't serve as the measuring stick for your success, though. That's the job of your goals. So it can take a little time to create and articulate your sacred vision statement, but it is well worth it to put the time in. And I'm going to share with you right now a couple of questions that you can journal on to hopefully get you started and thinking around your sacred vision statement. This is great if you've never created one, and this is also great if it's time to reevaluate yours and bring it up to speed for you. So, first great question to journal on for that sacred vision statement is, what are your values? What are your values? Another question, what is it that you stand for? What do you stand for? What does your business stand for? Take time with that, articulate it. Here's another question that can be helpful. If there was something that you felt so passionate about that you wanted to shout it off the rooftops so that everybody could hear it, because you know that that message, that thing that you feel so passionate about, it could help change the world, what would it be? And then finally, another question to get you started with all of this. If you had one wish for the healing of the world, what would that wish be? Or if you're wordy like me, if you had two wishes for the healing of the world, what would that be? So if it feels right, I want to really encourage you, because I know most people listen to podcasts when they're doing the dishes or in the car or taking a walk, which is great. But I want to actually encourage you to come back when you're at a table, when you're at a desk, and to take the time to come back to these questions that I just asked, to journal on them, to really be with them. I always like to recommend, instead of starting on the computer or typing it out, to do it with pen and paper, really get into it as if it were journaling. And of course, if you want to share what your vision is with me as you come up with it, please write in. Let us know. Nothing would make me happier than that. Now, before we wrap for today, I want to also mention, so, your vision statement is so important, first and foremost, for you, right? For all of the reasons we spoke about, so that you are connected to that deeper why, so that you don't get lost in the numbers or the disappointments. You stay inspired and motivated. So while it's important first and foremost for you, It's also very, very important as a guiding light for your offerings. You want your offerings to plug back into that vision for the world. It's a guiding light for content that you share about. It's a guiding light if you have a team for the feel of your team and what happens on your team. But also the sacred vision and then also your sacred mission can be very, very useful for your marketing. So there's obviously a lot that goes into marketing effectively. But things, one of the foundational pieces that makes marketing, any marketing you do effective, is to have your values threaded throughout your marketing, right? And essentially that your vision, part of what your vision is, are your values. That's why that's the first journaling question I asked was about values. When your prospects or anyone that's coming in connection with you is considering investing with you or following you, getting on your newsletter list or spending money, whatever it is, yes, they're looking for, does this person have a solution to my problem, for lack of better words right now, right? They are absolutely looking for that. But they are also, whether they realize it or not, looking for, does this person, does this business, do these offerings share my values? People want to invest their time, money, and energy into businesses and brands that share their values. And there's so many different examples of this across any industry. The one that always comes to mind for me is Ben and Jerry's. So if you know Ben and Jerry's ice cream, for many, many years, they were so front and center with their political values, or it wasn't maybe necessarily politics, but what they really valued in the world. And people bought from them. They became so popular, not just because maybe their ice cream was good. Obviously, the product needs to be incredible. That's always important. Their marketing was good in lots of different ways, but people connected with their values and they were more prone to buy because of that. So, this is all to say that sacred vision can help in so many ways. It can also help you inspire your community, right, with the vision. I often share my vision in my marketing and absolutely inside of my programming. You could, if you wanted, put your sacred vision on your website. I don't have my vision on my website currently, but if you go to my website and you click on the values page, you'll see what our values are, and they are very much an outgrowth. Maybe outgrowth isn't the right word. They're very much connected to my vision. And I have them there displayed. I share them so proudly that these are the values that thread throughout every single one of our offerings. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed our episode today and this exploration of sacred vision. I'd love to hear what you got from it. Please, as always, reach out. Want to hear from you. Want to hear what you're really taking. If you loved this episode, please, please give us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening. Leave a good review. And please share it with anyone who you think would really value it. The best way that I have of continuing to move my sacred vision forward and create this change that I really want to see in the world is when you share about the work with the people that you know. And I just appreciate you so much in advance for that.